Good, wonderful, good afternoon. Great to see old friends make new friends. I'm Ozlem Onaran from the University of Greenwich and one of the members of the coordinating committee of this network, FMM. And it's my pleasure to welcome you to the opening plenary of the 27th annual conference. There's really quite a lot of years in between. The conference, as Heike has already introduced, is on inflation, distributional conflict, and just transition. And it was really great to see so many really good research papers submitted that will be presented throughout the 3 days on the main topic of the conference. This is particularly crucial at this crossroads that we're facing with multiple crises happening now and here. Although it feels like a dystopian science fiction, more often than not, it isn't. It's the reality. And some of our colleagues might be thinking that, oh, inflation is not a topic anymore. It's slowly coming down. Actually, most working people are still feeling the brunt of the cost of living crisis. With interest rates hikes, this has increased fragility in our economy, in our society, and in our politics, with indebted households and firms, with increasing fragility in both banking and non-bank financial institutions, and in terms of economic policy, with the return of a new era of fiscal conservatism and austerity version 2. Very much rooted in the political economy of distributional conflict, unwillingness of governments to tax the top 1%. This means further real cuts into our already disinvested public services, with both the social and physical infrastructure of our societies deteriorating. All these policies are actually self-defeating on its own term, in the sense that in this age of interlinked crises, neither of the problems we are facing can be solved by these policies. What we are facing is, as an outcome, increasing and intersecting inequalities in class, race, and gender, deepening environmental breakdown, increasing care crisis in an aging society, and all that really feeding into systemic political legitimacy crisis and deepening distributional conflict. So we will talk about how we ended up here, really in the context of causes of inflation connected to distributional conflict, and we have 3 excellent speakers with thought-provoking presentations to help us navigate through different aspects of this really complex question. So I will introduce all our 3 speakers first, before I give the floor to our first speaker. So first speaker will be Eckhard Hein, who is not new to FMM. He is a professor of economics at the Berlin School of Economics and Law here. He was previously a senior researcher at the EMK, the institution really who is the backbone of FMM network and the infrastructure of this conference. He's also a member of the coordinating committee of the FMM, a managing co-editor of the journal of FMM, which Heike has mentioned before, Egypt. He has published many articles in journals and books, and his latest books include a 2023 very fresh Macroeconomics after Kalecki and Keynes, Post-Keynesian Foundations. For those of you who are teaching, I know a lot of you are doing it or preparing to do it, Eckhard and his colleagues, Bramucci, Pranta, and Truger, also have a wonderful introduction to macroeconomics, pluralist and interactive, again a latest book, and a lot of us are still reading and using his Distribution and Growth After Keynes, a post-Keynesian guide. Well, he is not new to FMM conferences, and I wish to say that I have double-checked. It's proven he has been actually to all the 27 conferences. If there are a few other people in the FMM coordinating committee with that track record, but yeah, it's something one feels proud when one finds out about it. And fair to say, as far as I'm concerned, you know, my first FMM was 2004. Many of us, including myself, would not be here today if it was not for the work Eckhard has been doing, particularly as a key figure in internationalizing this network. So thank you, Eckhard, for that. Well, he will be speaking on inflation is always and everywhere a conflict phenomenon, post-Keynesian inflation theory and an energy price-driven conflict inflation, distribution, demand, and employment. Our second speaker, moving on, and you haven't said in the order that is in the program, but that's okay. So that is Servaas Storm on the right hand of the panel, but by no means that implies any political spectrum. Servaas is a macroeconomist at Delft University of Technology. He is an expert on monetary and fiscal policy, technology, employment, and climate change, among others. He is on the editorial board of Egypt as well, and also a very key leading journal in development and change. He has really brought that journal, I think, to a new level. I think many of the young scholars here would want to talk to you about the journal afterwards, or at least I'm giving that tip that it's actually a good idea to do so. He has widely published in leading journals, and his latest book, co-authored by Rona Stepad, Macroeconomics Beyond the Nairo, won the Myrtle Prize of the EP. He will be speaking on the art of paradigm maintenance, how the science of monetary policy mismanages inflation of our time of 2021-23 and gets away with it. Very colorful title. As Heike has already mentioned, sadly, Helene Schubert, which is in the printed program, is sadly taken ill very recently and can't be with us tonight. And I'm personally very grateful to Marc Lavoie, who kindly accepted our invitation to move his presentation from 9 a.m. tomorrow to the opening plenary, following a very, already intense introductory lecture today on inflation. Marc Lavoie, again, very well known to most of you, is Professor Emeritus at the University of Ottawa. He has widely published in journals and is the author of many books, and I'll mention a few very important ones for us. Introduction to Post-Keynesian Economics, which has been translated into 7 languages. Post-Keynesian Economics, New Foundations, which has an updated version, very new version. And of course, a key reference that a lot of us here have read and use and teach, Monetary Economics, an integrated approach to money, income, production, and wealth, together with Wayne Godley. He is also one of the managing co-editors of Egypt. He's a research fellow at the MK. He has contributed to many FMM conferences, and I still have to do the history of thought research to pin down the first year since when Marc has been with us, but he has been, ever since, I know myself in FMM, have been a regular, and he has also been really essential to the introductory lectures and all summer schools of FMM, and he has, of course, contributed massively to this community. Well, different from many other economists I know, he is uniquely also, a champion in sports. He has participated in Olympic Games in 1976 and in 1984 in fencing. so be careful when you pass on comments about his work. And he won the Canadian Senior Championship as well. He will be speaking on questioning the profit inflation as an explanation of the post-pandemic inflation. Without further ado, I'll give the floor to our first speaker, Eckhard.